Hello everyone, welcome to 10 Minutes Astrology, the most easy way to learn. Ale, what are you doing? Learn astrology.
Hello everyone. I'm turning myself into the sun.
I think we both wear a little bit, sun color, a little bit.
It's more
Yeah.
Mars color, but
Oh,
well,
I
it's
know.
okay.
Well, anyway, it's rain. All right
Yes.
then. Yes. Okay, so because today we're going to talk about sun's aspect. So when you see a set of aspect of towards the sun or the sun's aspect, how are we going to interpret it in the chart? And what does that mean in the chart? For unpack these, we have to, I don't know, we have to start with, Alejo, we have to start with the sun's meaning in the chart, right?
Always I start with first of all, start with the meaning of that planet. So the meaning of the sun in the chart. The meaning of the sun in the chart is uh, our sense of vitality. What makes us feel alive? What makes us
Mm-hmm,
feel that we're here? What makes us feel that we shine? What makes us
mm-hmm,
feel like, wow, this is who I am? And
mm-hmm,
also, the sun is a process that we develop. So what are our goals? What do we aim to become? What do we want to
mm-hmm,
become? In some traditional astrology, like we were discussing the other day about motherhood and fatherhood,
mm-hmm,
some traditional astrology might say that the moon is the mother and the sun is the father, in
mm-hmm,
that sense that in some psychologists there's this idea that the father is the principle that makes us try to become, to grow, and to become something for our
mm-hmm,
own good, for our own
mm-hmm,
right? So
mm-hmm.
I would say, let's take this principle, let's remove the father figure, and let's take the principle itself. This idea of becoming something that makes me feel that I shine, that makes me feel that I have a gift to express and to share with the
Mm-hmm.
world.
Mm.
So, should I continue, or do you
Yes,
want to say something?
please. Please
I
continue.
start and I would play it and play, and then I don't stop. So, planets aspecting the sun are going to either support this journey or maybe challenge it. So depending on the kind of aspect you're going to have, maybe
Mm-hmm.
the planet is going to tell you, okay, this is a gift, this is a tool that you have to become this that you're trying to become.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe the planet is going to tell you, well, darling, it's not going to be so easy. You're going to have to do a little bit of work to become who you
Ah,
want to become.
okay. Well, so the sun's aspect is basically it can describe how we're going to become a hero, like you say, how we become what we want to be, your heroic journey.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and well, in another way, moon is we describe a moon is what we need in everyday's life. Then sun is what make you shine, what you really chasing for, what you want, and you
Hmm.
think that is so important, that you think that is so precious, so you want to get it, and how you get it. And the sun's aspect describe how you go there, how you go to become successful, to achieve your goal and get what you want. Well, maybe we should use an example to,
Yes, we
to
should.
see. Yeah, it's much easier. Always, it's much easier to go with example. Last week we used the Monroe. It's a very very beautiful lady. Today it's another goddess.
Hmm.
How do you think?
Oh
Not
my
many
God.
people, not everyone know her. But if you study a little bit of psychology, I think you probably
Yeah,
heard
come
about
on.
her name, right? Alejo,
Ah,
could you introduce Elisabeth Kübler-Ross?
yeah, so Elisabeth Kübler-Ross, she was a nurse and she started listening to what people that were about to die were saying. And she started to pay attention to what they were saying. And she realized that doctors and medicine in general have not studied what happens when a person is dying, when they know that
Mm-hmm,
they're going to die. So she started talking with them and studying with them. And she came up with a lot of ideas. And one of the famous ideas that she came
mm-hmm,
up with is this idea of the process of accepting um, the mourning process, so accepting death.
mm-hmm,
And it's also used nowadays. It's used for relatives of people who have passed away, so the process of
mm-hmm,
accepting that they passed away. But it's also
mm-hmm,
used for people who are diagnosed with a disease that it's incurable, so they know
mm-hmm,
that we all know that we have a limited time, but when you
Mm-hmm.
have been diagnosed with these very strong, powerful diseases, something
Mm-hmm.
changes, of course, within you, because you are kind of suddenly aware that your time is restricted. And sometimes it's like very restricted. Sometimes they give you a life expectancy of months or something like that.
Yeah.
So they also use this process of accepting your own death. So it's like the steps taken to accept your own death. I should say, my nerdy side, I should say that her model has been highly questioned by
Mm-hmm.
academics,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, the one people who defend this model, they keep saying that it's not, you shouldn't take it rigidly. It's a map to navigate the
Uh-huh.
situation. It's not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily a process like first this happens, then the other thing
Uh-huh.
happens, and the other. It's more like a
Wow.
map to help
Mm-hmm.
you navigate the situation. I think she
Oh,
did a fantastic work, and also she was a
yeah.
pioneer in many ways, because like it was something nobody was paying attention to that. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was
Thank you,
taboo,
Alejo.
to
Yeah. Yeah.
talk about this.
I think even today, when we talk about this, when you talk about death, when you talk about disease, when you talk about incurable disease, people still kind of have that kind of resentment and the kind of a defense. Say, no, no, I don't want to hear that, or I don't want to talk
Yeah,
about that. And so she's very brave, and thank you for bringing out that it's clarify that, yeah, maybe in the there is the argument in the academic world, but her work still is pretty fantastic, and well, at least like you said, she's a pioneer. So let's see, in her child, you will be very not surprised, very
yes,
not
exactly.
surprised to see that Sun in 15-degree Cancer and tightly conjunct with Pluto.
And I thought you were gonna say something else.
Oh, tell me something else, please.
It's tightly squaring Mars in Aries. That's why she's a
Oh,
pioneer.
a pioneer. Oh, sorry, sorry. I was like, because she's talking about the disease,
Death,
talk
yes.
about the death. That Pluto is always there. Well, pioneer, yes. Okay, okay. Should we maybe just like because some Pluto is so easy, we can see that taboo thingy, that part, that thing. That's work on with this some Mars first.
Okay, so Mars in Aries, what does he say? Mars in Aries says, I have to fight for what I want. I have to fight for what I believe. I will not ask for permission. I will just fight what I
Mm,
feel it's right, what I feel it's fair. And also Mars in Aries, it acts. It doesn't wait to think too much.
mm,
They just go into action. Yes?
mm. Yeah. So
Now,
this
this
is
is,
yeah.
yes.
Sorry,
Go
we
on,
we
sorry.
we both adopt that mark now. We always become a cardinal, bang, bang,
Yes,
bang, 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 like this.
yes,
Yes, I was
we
about to
did.
say. Yeah, I was about to just mention. Yes, both Sun and the Mars are in the cardinal sign, so there is a kind of urgent and activity there. So please continue. Thank you, Alejo.
And then the sun is in Cancer, so I feel alive when I nurture. I feel alive when I take care of people. I
Oh,
feel alive when I'm in touch with the emotional world and with things that are maybe not so easily to be seen, that are things that have to be sensed. Yeah.
wow.
Now
Yes.
here there's a square. So this
Mm,
means that the dialogue between these two planets is not so easy. So
mm-hmm,
maybe the person, Elizabeth, let's say, our friend
mm-hmm.
Lily, is trying to is trying to bring together her drive and her desire for action
Mm-hmm,
with her goal of being a nurturing, caring person. And it's
mm-hmm,
like in her mind, it's like, how can I be both? How can I be sensitive, but also how can I be a warrior?
mm,
So in the end, what she does is to bring them together. So she says, I'm going to fight for what I feel. I'm going to fight for the people I take care of, because she was a nurse.
mm.
So she brings them together in the end. Yes.
Wow, so beautiful. This is how we're going to put everything together. It's not only the aspect, but also the theme with the sun's house, Mars, the house, sun's sign, sun's house, Mars sign, Mars house, and then the aspect describe the dynamic between the two. Or if she going to make this thing happen, what kind of dynamic? For example, I noticed another set of aspect with her sun is with the Saturn in Scorpio, but it's a trine. So
Yes.
with this authority figure in the eighth house, or with this, she guide us step by step how to learn to accept it. The accept is very the quality or action of the trine to be, to accept it or to be harmonious with it. The Sun trine the Saturn in the Scorpio in the 8th house. So the theme is coming out very, I think, very natural and very, very. It's not a struggle. It's not a difficulty for her. It's kind of it's part of life, and we learn how to accept it. There is still the Mars thing there, but there is also the Saturn side in her, Sun's aspect. It's pretty interesting.
Yes, it's interesting. It's I find this chart very inspiring. Actually, it's a chart I sometimes use. So because Saturn in Scorpio in the 8th could be fear of death, but at the same time, where we fear is what we find our biggest treasures. So instead of this idea that Saturn makes you work in the area where it is. And in this case, it made her work. It made her go to the essence of death, the essence of what is this ultimate experience. And this has supported her journey of taking care of, because it's a trine. So the Saturn here is trining the Sun in Cancer. So this is actually something that became part of her building structure in order how to take care of other people. What she said is like, if we want to nurture and heal and take care of people, we need to have the courage and the capacity to face this. And like you were saying, she created a structure, the Saturn, the idea of a structure. She created a model on how to think about this process. I think it's fantastic. I think it's a fantastic chart.
Yes. So, Alejo, could you summarize when we when we see the chart, when we interpret the Sun's aspect, what we can focus on?
So what we're going to focus is which planets are actually taking part in this journey of becoming who we are. And the part they take might be because they support us, they give us a gift or a skill that will help us in that journey, or the part they take might be a kind of a challenge. But again, if it's a challenge, it's not because they want to impede, like they are against that. It's the opposite, because they're trying to help us do something creative out of this struggle. So sometimes if there are squares or positions, they are challenging this journey in order to make it richer, so we have to integrate more different aspects.
Oh, definitely. Thank you, Alejo, for that beautiful integration. So one more thing, the exercise.
Yes. So the exercise. So I would say, since we did the Mars square, the Sun square Mars, let's do Sun square Venus for exercise.
Okay. Yeah.
And let's do Sun trine Jupiter instead of Saturn.
Okay. So if there's someone who has the Sun square Venus and trine Jupiter, so what kind of experience when he or she, when they are going to, experience in their life about chasing what they want to achieve and in the self-developed journey, and what is the guidance or gift to help? And we have to think about it. It is so interesting to read this chart.
I love this chart. Yes, I think she's so inspiring. Even if it might be true that her model is not so accurate nowadays with all the research we have, I think she was a pioneer. Yes.
Yeah, indeed. Yes. Well, so thanks everyone, and thank you, Alejo. Thanks everyone for watching and listening to this Astrology, and thanks Alejo for always be here with me. So, well, I think we were coming to the sequence. So after Moon, after Sun, then we will go to Mercury. Yeah, Mercury is about what do we think? So next week we will talk about Mercury's aspect in the chart. Okay, thanks everyone, and see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye bye.